So they need to see you learning something new. We are so focused on what our children are learning that we go through their whole life not learning anything for our individual purpose. Your children need to see that you are an avid, lifelong learner. Because, at the end of the day, if you're the same old person, and they're heading out of college, what have you taught them from that perspective? That, you can learn all you want when you're a kid, but once you have your own kids, you can throw all of your personal learning opportunities out the window. They need to see you learning something new. They also need to see you as an adult form of the person you want them to be. So if you are honest, they will likely be honest. If you are ambitious, they will likely be ambitious. If you are confident, they will likely be confident. And it's not saying, I want you to be confident. It's just watching you in action with the little camera crew around, documenting you being the person that you want them to be. They need to see you accept and handle change in a positive way. And that's the biggest thing that your children will be challenged with. From my perspective, I'm in a bit of a gypsy lifestyle because we seem to move every 2 to 3 years. Every time we seem to move, we add another kid. So I hope we don't move for, so yeah, that's good. So we have babies, we move, we change countries, we change cities, we renovate houses. They're anything that you do. My husband changes jobs on an 18-month to 24-month basis. Every single change like that affects you, and how you handle that change is showing your children that they can handle anything. If you take it with grace and integrity and without getting too overwhelmed and stressed out, they can see that because your blood is in their body, they can handle change. And it's just going to become ever increasing as they go into, when they are your age, they will be changing at 10 or 20 times the change that you are seeing today. So the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, right? So if you are taking the stress and dealing with it in a positive manner and in an efficient manner, your children will see that they'll be able to do that as well. They also need to see that you are doing something you love. And so many of us make decisions based on our families that pays the mortgage, or that you make these decisions so that you think that they are for the right reasons. But if you wake up 20 years later and your children are going off to college, or you are moving to a different chapter in your life, and you realize that the last chapter is pretty dull, and that you're doing things that maybe gave a paycheck, or you're doing it for some sort of other obligation, you're not only here, but you are here to be the role model of what you want your children to do with their life. So if you want your children to take a 10-year little block of their time and say, don't do anything. Don't do anything. Just take that whatever job, take that, you want to learn something new, but, you can't seem to fit it in. You would never ever have that expectation for your children. So don't ever have that expectation for yourself. You need to be doing something that you love, something that you can't wait to work on, something that's not, in most cases, it doesn't involve your children. It's something that you have, that you own, that you grow it, that you are working on it for an hour, and you realize it seems like it's only been 15 minutes. They need to see you happy. They need to see the essence of who you really are. So imagine when you were little and how your parents described you, or how you were in college, or how you were sort of, when you can think of a time where you really felt like in a very powerful place, where you had the most amount of confidence and you had the most amount of belief in yourself. If you're the life of the party, are you the life of your family? So somehow, it's like the tea bag that makes a cup of tea, And then you take another cup of tea and you use the same tea bag. And then you take another cup of tea and you use the same tea bag. And we're slowly getting diluted to the point where we don't know the essence of who we really are. And so who are we really showing to our children, right? I'm not sure if all of you have seen Happy Feet, but it's like the penguin that's been caught and is in the zoo, and he's just has his mouth open, he's like, and the fish are just like falling, and if one lands in his mouth, he's just like, oh yeah, like just completely diluted. There's no, you saw Happy Feet, the guy dance, like the penguin had character and an essence that was really powerful, and somehow he lost it. And that is what happens. That's what we need to show our children, is the little penguin dancing and the little penguin showing his own true character.